All right, hello and welcome. Turn the soundtrack up just a little bit, like maybe here. Yeah, that'll work. Hi, hello, welcome. I am your host, Elizibar. This is New Comic Book Day, that time of the week where there are comic books and they are new. We are listening to the Endless Space soundtrack. It's a great game. It's a great soundtrack. If you've been hanging around my channel, you have assuredly, well, maybe not assuredly, you have probably seen me playing Endless Space, usually in multiplayer format. Turns out multiplayer games of it are not that long, which is nice, because then you can have more games. Who knew? Now this is, of course, New Comic Book Day. We have last week's new comic books right where I left them, and they are just going to sit there. They are not going anywhere. But this week, we have some real treats. All right, starting with Nomad, which I'm just cracking the book open to look for the credits. Who's the artist? Because I really like the artwork in this thing. I was actually flipping through this while starting the stream up, and okay. Is it really so hard just to put like the credits like on the first page? I mean, I guess there's some names down here that we could squint at and try to read, but black on dark green is not the easiest font color to read. I was kind of hoping there'd be, you know, credits here on the front page, but we don't live in that world. We do live in the world, though, where we got Hollywood over here. So we got, if you don't remember, Nomad is the story of a runaway super soldier. There he is. Who's got a baby, and I don't remember why he's got the baby. It frankly doesn't matter why he's got the baby. He's just got a baby. And here, U.S. agent is here to murk the guy. Oh, here's the credits. S. Clark Hallbaker, dude. Him and this inker, and actually the colors, like this whole thing is just a wonderful combination. Like, they have an absolutely great little fight sequence here. And it is fantastic. It's great. I have no complaints about that fight sequence. That is some great work. That's what I was looking at while the stream was starting up. Then, oh my, he goes to a bar, and, well, we can kind of see what kind of establishment this is. Horizon. Called that because he can always see what's coming. Followed the Brooklyn Dodgers out here. 56, been miserable ever since. Should have seen that coming. He doesn't look that old. I mean, at minimum, well, I guess he could be 50. Like, that would make sense. This isn't like 1990, so it's only 30-something years. Now, little Bucky. Being cute. Man has to watch out for the baby, because baby is cute. Oh my, look what kind of video store we got back there. Good grief. Oh, that is so 90s. I love it. Dual wielding sawed-off shotgun pistols. That's my man right there. Look at that big in belt buckle. Dude, this is so like 1990. Look at the hair, which is somehow way larger than his head. It's a bit much. So, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Not as much fun as Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That's an all-time banger, man. That is a classic film. Oh, I didn't do the spiel. I get my comic books at Graham Cracker Comics. When you go to Graham Crackers on a Wednesday, you get not one, not two, but 3 books for free out of the dollar bin, which used to be the 75-cent bin, which used to be the 50-cent bin. Inflation is killing us all. Next song in the... next song. That's what I get for looking at my right monitor where Endless Space is playing. Next comic book on the list. A beat-up copy of the official adaptation of RoboCop 2, Part 2 of 3. Murphy, you can't be dead again. Oh, is this where they find him and he's been dismantled? That is my least favorite part of the movie. Dude, look at the print quality. These books are not that far apart in age. This one just has better paper stock. Let's see, what is this? 1992, and this is... I don't see the date up in the corner box. Usually there's a year right up there. I mean, RoboCop 2 came out in what, 91? September 1990 is when this book came out. Now, this book has been loved a little more harshly than the other one. Like, the cover is all crumpled and stuff. That's a really nice panel. Oh yeah, there's all the rules, the directives they put into him. And here's Murphy. He's cheesed off. He's gonna go zap him. There he is, zapping himself. There's some stuff I like in RoboCop 2, but man, a lot of that movie is just kinda... I don't know how to put it. Just, it's not very good. It's just kinda there. Sorry, I was just pulled into looking at something for a minute. Alright. Oh yeah, and there's the bad guy. Like the kid. I forget what the character's name is. There's the mayor. And there's Kane. You may be put into the RoboCop 2 body. RoboCop 2, the future of law enforcement. A message from Officer Murphy to those of you who are thinking about passing up this comic book adaptation of his new movie. Think it over, creeps. 64-page, full-color bookshelf, 64-page black and white magazine. Issue standard format limited series. So they're already like thinking about like the collected edition, huh? Oh man, the Extinction Agenda. Good stuff. If the world ends tomorrow, it's all your fault. Wow. Oh, Metal Gear 2, Snake's Revenge, which that's not actually the Japanese. Like all those people creeps. Hey, Rexcar. Dead or alive, you're coming with me, creep. Yeah. RoboCop is great. Great movie. Rexcar, did you ever play the RoboCop game that came out a couple years ago, Rogue City? Huh, you just asked me the same question. Yes, I played it. I loved it. It was fantastic. Oh, you haven't? You should play it if you get the chance. You actually feel like RoboCop in that game. Every step you take, you sound like RoboCop. The pace you move at is kind of plodding like RoboCop. And after you get past like the intro area and you start getting some levels to power up and stuff, you turn into like a tanky killing machine, just like RoboCop. Like you'll just be walking along, people be spraying bullets at you, and you'll be like, and just knocking them all down. Lots of fun. One of my favorite game experiences. Whoever made it should make a Judge Dredd game. That'd be pretty cool. They made a Terminator game. I started playing that, and then I got to a section where we had to infiltrate a hospital where Skynet was experimenting on people. And I'm like, I don't know that I'm mentally prepared to go enter a hospital where Skynet is experimenting on people. So I stopped playing that like a year or something ago. Because I did not, like, I don't know what I'm in for, man. I don't know what I'm in for. Like, am I just going to go in there and it's going to be like all normal hunky-dory? Or am I going to go in there and there's going to be like, you know, body parts like twitching on the ground or something, kept alive by electricity? When dystopian fiction starts to feel a little too close to real life. I mean, RoboCop has felt like that for years now. I like the movie, but man, there's a little too much reality in there. I am having the dew. So you can tell it's the green bottle cap. Look at the comics, yeah. Comic books they're pretty great. Last week's books are all piled up here too because I didn't get to read them yet. So we're just slapping down the books I picked up this week. Nomad number 3, RoboCop 2 number 2. My shop man actually put that in my box for me. He's like, I know one guy who's gonna love this garbage. And you know what? He was right. He knows the one guy who loves that garbage. The third book I got for free, it's just sitting in the bin, man. It's real hard for me to pass up early 90s X-Men books, and so I could not pass this up. Like, I'm pretty sure I've read The Executioner's Song. Good value, hey. Free is a great value. Now, I'm pretty sure I've read all this in the past. I don't really remember. Like, that guy's name was, what, Strife or something? Anyway, I don't remember the story off the top of my head. And it's definitely got that early 90s comic art vibe to it. Hold on, there was a picture of Archangel in here. Let me find that. That was, yeah. Looking really cool in that classic, like, crossed arm pose that he does sometimes. Storm over here just looks. Thumbs up. It's basically your core memories of comics and superheroes, 90s X-Men? Yeah. You can do a lot worse than a 90s X-Men comic. Namely, for starters, you can pick up Nomad number 3. Oh! But, yeah. Like, all this kind of stuff, it's got a certain look to it. I find that look very appealing, probably because of nostalgia. Look at Strife up there, like, mentally telepathing at them. What a jerk. Like, quit hovering above people's heads, bro. Just show up in person. Get into a fist fight. This is a comic book. Oh, man. Hold on. He's really straining on the toilet right there. Does he have, like, an extra row of teeth or something? Check that out. He's got upper teeth, lower teeth, and, like, middle teeth. What is going on there? He's trying to poop so hard that he's sprouted extra teeth. He's like a shark. He's like a shark! Bro. You need to chill. Just a little bit of tranquilo, okay? Okay? Man, way to kill the art vibe. Like, I was just over here, you know, being like, oh man, this is some great portrait work. Like, Archangel looks cool. Storm looks cool. Apocalypse looks pretty cool. And then we get over to Captain Poop. And there he is. Sprout an extra row of teeth. I'm not sure, like, you could blame this on the colors, right? Like, those should be gums. Did he replace, like, does he no longer have gums? Does he just have metal there? I don't know. But that is the third book I got for free. Let me take another drink here, and we will get to the books I actually paid for. Amazing. Paying for stuff in this economy? Who ever heard of that? Adamantium gums. Confirmed. So all this stuff we got today is stuff that I'm pretty excited for, although I'm so behind on reading any of this stuff that feels hypocritical. So let's start off with probably the least exciting thing. Although it's got a great cover. Looks like it's a flashback issue. It is New Comic Book Day, my dude. And look, it's Something Is Killing My Patience, everyone's favorite book, which is up to issue number 42, if you can believe it. This has to be like a flashback, because that is Erica's teacher right there. And that's very young Erica. Nothing continues to... Yeah. And honestly, I was flipping through this before I put the book down. I don't really see anything awfully exciting in here. Except for the very last page. The Werner Deladera, I don't know how to pronounce his name, like art, always makes the monsters look cool. Because it's got that weird, I don't know if sketchy is the right word for it. Like the people don't, they look a little something something, you know? So when this dude rolls in and he starts like drawing the monsters and they're just like these inky black horrors, it just looks great. I think we're well over a year behind Something Is Killing the Children at this point. So will I ever catch up? Not at this rate. Not at this rate. Super creepy? Yeah. It's a good book half the time, and half the time it puts me to sleep. And I never know which issue is going to be which one. Like it's a coin toss every time. Is this issue going to be the one Elizibar goes, that's great? Or is this going to be the one where Elizibar goes, there was some stuff in here, but nothing happened? You know, you just got to flip a coin. And I happen to have like this challenge coin here, which please never challenge me for any of my challenge coins, because I don't carry these things with me in public. If I did, you know, I'd weigh like 100 pounds more because I'd have so many of these things, but we could like flip it, you know, green or blue. Is it going to be exciting? Is it going to be boring? I don't know. Exciting! Look at that. Flipped it to green. Amazing. Dude, somebody needs to tell Brian Paluto to stop sending me all this swag. I know I'm paying for it when I back his books and stuff, but good lord, man. I've got an entire binder full of trading cards from this guy. I've got like, I don't know, 3 or 4 challenge coins. One of them's wooden. It might just be a wooden nickel at this point. I don't know. I got crazy, gigantic sword pins and just all kinds of stuff from this absolute maniac of a comic book creator. He must be stopped. The next book I expect to be pretty cool. Although, again, I am definitely several issues, I think 10 issues behind on Geiger. I don't know. Like, as soon as I started reading actual books, my comic reading just went off a cliff. And then I got pulled into the City of Heroes project, and that's eaten up like every spare thought, every spare second I've had. But Geiger's a cool book. It's about a guy that's radioactive. I mean, you kind of probably could have guessed that from the cover, where he's exploding from his skull with radiation. But it looks like he's fighting that lady that's also radioactive in this one. I don't know who she is, but definitely saw her in some of the previous books, flipping through them. I wonder if his little knight dude is hanging out with him. Like, at the start of this, it really kind of seemed like a Don Quixote thing. Yeah, there's his little knight guy, one of his nuclear knights, which they're not actually his. This guy actually works for the king in Las Vegas, who runs one of the casinos. Not Elvis the King, like an actual like king. He's like the Camelot casino. So this dude's still hanging out with Geiger, but it looks like he's been taken prisoner by, I guess the army dudes are the ones that control Junkyard Joe or something. Hubba, we getting freaky here? Radiation? How many series am I currently reading? Maybe 8? Yeah, 8's probably about right. Although... There's that stack. And that's one of 3 stacks on my desk. That's not getting into all the other junk laying around here. But I digress. And no, it's not 10's not that much. A lot of people that are into comic books read like fat stacks every week. Like they just pick up like all of Marvel or whatever. See, Ninja Weasel says, man, you got a Nook a couple months ago, and it's been so nice to get back into reading a bunch of stuff I used to for physical books, ebooks. Somebody said for humping around. Yeah, it's really cool. A couple years ago, on my cell phone at the time, not this gigantic one, I got a bunch of free ebooks off of Amazon. And that's how I read War and Peace, actually, if you can believe it. Reading it like 3 sentences at a time before swiping to the next page. Absolutely ridiculous way to read it, but it was nice because it kept exactly like my spot for me, so I didn't have to worry about losing my place or a bookmark or anything like that. And just having it available to me wherever I was, like if I was waiting in the car or in a waiting room at a doctor's office or whatever, I could just be like flip, 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 read, and just go. I started reading Pride and Prejudice that way too, but man, I could not really get into Victorian era teenage dating drama. That was like a bridge too far, man. It didn't beat me. It was not like trying to read Les Miserables. That book beat me. I made it through the first book, however many hundreds of pages that was, and I was like, I am done. I do not need to hear about this pensioner from one of Napoleon's legions that was living in the country, and he was an atheist, so he argued with the parish priest constantly. Like, I do not need to read that because that never comes up again. That guy is not in any of the rest of the story. Rexgar agrees. He loves his Kindle. It's convenient. Yeah. So I do have a Kindle somewhere. It was my dad's. So I guess I could like get in on this Kindle business, but I am not presently in the Kindle business. My phone has been sufficient for the times I want to read on it. Hey, that's a little kid they took that had like leukemia or something, right? Nice to see he's still alive. That was like 5 years ago. Cool. So that's Geiger. It's a neat post-apocalyptic story. Great art. Gary Frank did the art in, I think, every issue of Geiger, and Brad Anderson did the colors in most issues of Geiger, if not all of them. And the books just look really nice. They are a great combination. They're a great team together. But now you want to see the book I'm the most hyped for? You want to see the book that I think is probably the one that'll bring me the most joy once I sit down and read it? Because you're gonna be like, wow, that's your pick? And yeah, it is. It is. Oh, we're gonna snooze that ad. We're almost done with comic books here. That's stupid. Go away, ad. Go. Snooze. There we go. Yeah, it's the Justice League and Sonic the Hedgehog crossover book. I flipped through the first 2 issues, and they look like a lot of fun. This issue, I just flipped through it while I was talking, and it also looks like a lot of fun. Is that freaking Silver the Hedgehog with a Green Lantern ring? What more do you need in your life? Nobody even likes Silver the Hedgehog. But here he is with a lantern ring, and he's battling Cal Sinestro. Like, how could you not like this? It is a weird crossover, but it's looked like so much fun. Every book, like every issue I've flipped through, I've just been left with this wonderful feeling of fun, because you just get ridiculous panels like that. Like, look, Amy and her mallet. Look, mallet, mace. Mallet, mace. They're a match made in heaven. Oh, please tell me Shadow the Hedgehog just shoots the Joker. Please tell me that's how that goes. Oh my gosh. And Knuckles is just gonna beat the crap out of Luthor. Like, I'm sold, man. Everything in this book just looks like fun. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and read these things yet. And once I do, I know I'm gonna like them. There's just absolutely... So that's Sonic with the Flash's suit? And just beat Reverse Sonic, or Reverse Flash? Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think, as the kids say, I'm here for it. And Reverse Flash as a Chaos Emerald looks like, you know, I'm game. I'm down. It's wild. There's just so much crazy stuff in these books. The best part is, since it doesn't fit into like the canon or whatever, I don't have to be aware of the 700 crossovers that DC Comics is doing in its own books. Like, if we come back down here to wherever the DC Connect ended up, like, everything's part of either Absolute, so it's taking place in the Absolute Universe and thus is interconnected there, or it's part of this all-in event. Like, I don't really care. I don't want to read your whole line of comic books. And just by picking up this stupid crossover, or like the Justice League King Kong Godzilla crossover, like, I get to satisfy my urge to see these classic DC characters without having to follow a bunch of storylines I stopped caring about. Anyway, guys, that's it for comic books right now. I'm going to swap over to City Heroes in just a second, unless there's any last-minute commentary that you guys want to chime in with. Do like a countdown on the screen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so that's our transition point. We're going to hop over to City Heroes here in just a second. Let me go ahead and put the BRB up. That way you know I'm going to BRB. And I'll start swapping stuff over, getting all the infrastructure in place. Thank you so much for being here, everybody.